Hey guys, Break here, and today we're going to be talking about how you can make millions of gold in patch 8.2, which is coming out actually today in the US and tomorrow in the EU. Now, patch 8.2 is a pretty interesting one because they are releasing a load of new areas, a load of new zones into the game. They are eventually releasing the new raid, and they are releasing lots of new profession changes, and all of that usually equals a lot of gold making opportunities. Anyway, let's get straight into it. What do I think will be the best gold making methods in patch 8.2? And we're going to start off with something which I know a lot of you love, which is battle pets. So on Wowhead's comprehensive Nazjatar guide, you guys can see all of the different rares here and all of the different battle pets that these rares drop. And there is a similar thing for Mechagon, and just like in patch 7.3 in Legion, all of these new rares with all of these new battle pets, they sell for a lot of gold in the first few days. So what you guys want to do is just go around and kill every single rare once per day, because you only get loot once per day, and you'll probably end up getting a few battle pets if you kill literally all the rares in both zones. And you should just try and sell them quickly on the auction house. Like I say, in the first week, they're going to be selling for anywhere between 50k gold and 5k gold, but somewhere around that range. Hopefully you can get like 10,000 gold for them. And if you can sell 3 of those, then that's 30,000 gold for you. No one knows the exact prices they're going to be selling for, but usually that's the kind of price you see in the first few days. And then they start to go down and down and down in price. But if you guys want to get a head start on the gold making, then definitely go farm these out. There's actually a second reason to kill the rares as well. That's because they give you 50 reputation per time, and you need this reputation to get the rank 2s and rank 3s for some of the professions. So it's like a double whammy for you guys in terms of gold making. Definitely go around and kill these rares, and just get one of those add-ons like handy notes or something like that that's going to just tell you where the rares are. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Okay, so the second way to make a lot of gold in patch 8.2 is going to be the raid BOEs. Now, I always say this, and I'll do a whole guide on it when they're eventually released. Of course, the raid won't come out for, I think, 2 weeks, so we do have 2 weeks before we can actually do this, but it's going to be really, really good, guys. It's always good buying BOEs for cheap and selling them for more. BOE flipping, it's how I've made 30, 40, 50 million gold over the past year or two, really, really easily. And you guys can do a similar thing. All you have to do is search the auction house for the BOEs. All of these ones, they are hands, they are bracers, and there's a cloak as well. Those are the different BOEs dropping from the new raid. Search up the auction house for them. If there's some on there for quite cheap, particularly like a Titan Forged one, like a Heroic or Mythic one, or one that's got nice extra stats, then you can buy it out, relist it on the auction house for a lot more gold, and make big profit. Now again, you can't do this for a couple of weeks, but I'm really excited, and I'm particularly excited because the bracers are back. Now in Legion, if you guys remember, if you were into BOE flipping in Legion, flipping the bracers made the most gold out of anything, which is surprising. You'd think people wouldn't pay for bracers, but I think bracers are just kind of hard to come by. In raids, they're a bit annoying. So, you know, if you want to get really good ones, you have to kind of buy them off the auction house. And I think that's why they sell for so much. So I'm very excited to see what the braces are going to be selling for. Cloaks always sell good as well, although there's only one of them. So there'll be a bit of competition. And there's some hands as well. So it's going to be really nice. I'm very excited about this. Just get some gold stored away, ready to start flipping. Or if you're a raider yourself, or if you just want to join one of the trash runs that always happen at the start of expansion, where you guys just go into a raid just to kill the trash and hope one of you in the raid group gets one of the BOEs, you guys can do that as well. But it's going to be a really nice way to make a lot of gold. So next up is gathering. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this because I'm not very good at gathering. I don't like it, so go look up a gathering guide if you're a big gatherer. But if you want to collect the new herb, Zin and Thid, or if you want to collect the new ore, then go ahead and do it, particularly in the first few days of the expansion. It's going to be really nice before people start getting flying, especially. you're going to be able to make quite a bit of gold from it. If you're into farming, here we are, osmanite is the new ore. So you want to go and get that. You do need level 140 in mining and in herbalism in order to gather this new ore, this new herb. But you're going to be able to make a nice bit of gold from it if that's your thing. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. I don't really like gathering, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. But one thing I will talk about, which kind of relates to gathering, and the thing which is at number 4 on the list, is jewelcrafting and prospecting. So there are a load of new gems to be got in patch 8.2, and you get these gems from prospecting osmanite ore. That is how it relates to gathering. So whilst some of you might be farming this ore, I'm going to be trying to buy it up as cheaply as possible, prospecting it, and trying to get some nice gems which I can sell on the auction house with my jewel crafter. So as long as you are level 150 to 155, you're going to be able to start making these gems, or 165 for the intellect agility ones, but they are quite a lot better than the previous gems, and people are going to be wanting these to progress through the new raid and still their old raids. So I really suggest, if you have a jewel crafter, to dust them off. Hasn't been the best expansion for jewel crafting, but I think prospecting is going to be quite a big thing, particularly in the first few weeks. I think the key thing to do is to try and work out the exact prospecting rates of osmanite ore. So if you have a bit of gold spare, buy up a load of osmanite ore, start prospecting it, see how many of each gem you get, and then work out if you've made a profit or not. And obviously if you are making a profit on your server, then go and buy a ton more ore and prospect it all again. And if you don't make a profit, then obviously don't. It's going to be server specific, but I really like prospecting because it's a bit like gambling, and I'm a bit of a gambling addict, unfortunately. Not literally, but you know, I like a bit of risk and reward. So I'm going to be big into my prospecting, and we'll see if it can make a lot. And I'm pretty confident that it will make a lot of gold. However, for me, I think that jewel crafting will only be the 3rd best profession. So at number 5, we're going to be talking about what I think is the 2nd best profession, patch 8.2, which is enchanting. That is because there are a load of new enchants, and again, raiders are going to want enchants. There's the new dungeon system and the new dungeon, all going to be wanting enchants, the people who do those. And there's lots and lots of new enchants. Again, you need like 155 to 165 to learn them. But it's going to be really, really profitable if you can get them, particularly if you can get the rank 2s and rank 3s, which you'll have to get either from work orders or from different reps. But it's going to be very, very profitable. And there aren't any new enchanting materials, so it's still the same Veiled Crystal, Umbra Shard, and Gloom Dust. So hopefully you guys have been saving some of those up. If you hadn't, then they might go up in price a bit, but it should be worthwhile, particularly on the less populated servers. I think on my server it's going to be tough because it's such a high pop server with so many raiders. There's going to be a lot of enchanters, but this is going to be making big gold. The new enchants are very, very awesome, and I'm quite confident this is going to be one of the better professions. New ring enchants and new weapon enchants. So if you guys do have an enchanter, then definitely get them up to speed and try and get the new enchanting recipes as quickly as possible, because I think these are going to be selling really, really well. And there's also an opportunity to start flipping Veiled Crystals and Umbra Shards and Gloom Dust again. This is something I've done quite successfully this expansion, but because the enchants are going to be selling so quickly and so well, and there's so many places to get new gear in this patch as well, so enchants are going to be selling really, really good. And that means that you do have a good opportunity to flip Veiled Crystals and Umbra Shards in particular. So buy them up on the auction house if you see them for cheap, and then like list them in stacks of 20 or stacks of 50 or stacks of 10 or stacks of 100 even for the Umbra Shards, and you'll probably be able to get a nice bit of profit from doing that. The whole pretty stacky method we've talked about a lot before. So kind of two things with enchanting. Obviously there's flipping them and there's making the enchants themselves, and then enchanting also has a new weapon or wand and scepter wand again. So they do have the new wands. Does anyone really want that? I don't know, but definitely the enchants, they're going to be big. So at number 6, and what I think could be the best profession this patch, is Inscription. Now it very much depends on the popularity of the new trinkets, because this is what's going to be making you your gold if you're a scribe. Obviously there are new glyphs, and new glyphs always sell really well when they first come out, particularly kind of transmog or character changing glyphs such as are coming out in this patch, such as Glyph of the Cold Waves, which changes your water elemental. So that's cool, and I think that will sell for a lot, so definitely get the new glyphs if you're a scribe. And there's the Vantus runes and everything else, of course. But what I am most excited about is the new trinkets. These are item level 400, which is really big. I mean, all the other new gear is only 370 that you can craft, but scribes get a 400 trinket. And obviously for the high-end raiders, it's not going to be that good. But for any sort of alt, being able to just purchase an item level 400 that gives you a lot of main stat and a nice little equip bonus, then I think it's going to be very popular. It only requires 2 Expulsum, which is really nice. It's not like you have to go and farm up a ton of Expulsum. It requires Ultramarine ink, which is very easy to get, and the new Maroon ink, which you get from milling the new herb, Xenanthid. So this is going to be quite a big thing as well, similar to the prospecting. If you can get the Xenanthid for fairly cheap, then you can start mass milling it and building up your Maroon ink, and then you can either just sell the Maroon ink on its own, or even better, you can use the Maroon ink to make the trinkets. And particularly again on like the medium pop servers, I think these trinkets are going to be selling really well. There's going to be a lot of alts being leveled up with the whole new gearing system in patch 8.2, and I think these trinkets are going to be really huge. So definitely, I think Inscription could be the best profession, particularly in the first few weeks of the patch, and I am very excited to get going with it. Okay, so there are 2 more things I want to talk about, and at number 7 we have all of the new gear that you can craft through blacksmithing, tailoring, and leatherworking. Now, this gear is only item level 370, which kind of sucks. I mean, like I said, the scribes get a 400 trinket, and you only get item level 370. But again, because there's going to be so many alts being leveled up, this gear still does sell. You'd be surprised how much it does sell for, even if it's only item level 370. So don't be scared that it's only 370, it's not going to sell for loads. You could still get some good sales with it, so I would just get crafting that if you do have blacksmithing, leatherworking or tailoring, and see where it goes. Again, you're going to need Marks of Honor for these, particularly the rank 2s and rank 3s you have to buy with Marks of Honor, so hopefully you guys have been farming those up, doing your battlegrounds and PvP. But if you don't hate that, then it's going to be okay for you, and I think the 370 gear, particularly in the first few weeks, could be a steady seller, let's say. Don't think it's going to blow you away with its price, but it definitely could be a steady seller. And finally, at number 8, we can't do a 8.2 gold making guide without talking about the new mount gear. So for those of you who don't know, you can get mount gear in patch 8.2, which lets you do different things with your mounts. For example, blacksmiths get the inflatable mount shoes, which let you walk on water. And these can be sold on the auction house, and no one really knows how much they're going to sell for and whether or not you're going to make a profit, because we've never had anything like this in the game before. But what I will say is they don't require many things to make them. The recipe really isn't that difficult, and there are a lot of them around, so I would say probably these aren't going to be that great because there's going to be so much competition. However, if you're on a kind of lower pop server, or if you do start making these in the first few days and weeks of the expansion, I think you definitely could see some profit. In fact, if you can start making these in the first day of the expansion and you can like be the first one on your server to make them, then you can set the price. And if you can set the price on your server, you can just say, hey, I'm the only blacksmith making these. I'm going to put them up for like 10,000 gold, see if they sell. You never know. You do never know. It really could work, particularly in the first few days. So just check the prices on your server, and if they are going crazy in the first few days, then make these. There's loads of different ones. I'm not going to go over all of them, but stuff like tailoring has them. I'm pretty sure leatherworking has them as well. So you can get some cool different ones, and in the first few days you probably can make quite a bit of gold with these. Anyway guys, that is it from me. Those are 8 of the best ways to be making gold in the new patch. What I'm going to be doing is concentrating on killing the rares to try and sell some of the pets and flip them across my different servers. I'm going to be obviously doing the raid BOE flipping when that comes out in a couple of weeks. And I'm also going to be getting my scribe up and running and trying to make some gold with those trinkets. And I'll let you guys know how that goes. That's what I'm going to be concentrating on. I'll also try some milling and prospecting to see if it's profitable on my server. My server doesn't usually have much profit because it's such a high pop server, but really if you guys are on a medium pop server, then don't discount milling and don't discount prospecting. You could make huge gold, and it's like the easiest gold ever. You just press one button and you're printing money. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Good luck to all of you for the new patch. And until next time, see ya.